Hello, America. Welcome to my very first webcast. I decided to, I'm a rookie at this. This is the very first time that I've ever done this, so I'm learning. Basically, this webcast here, I'm doing to just see if I can do it, what's all entailed, and see if I can get it up on the internet. I plan to do one of these every Friday. I'm going to call it my weekly rant. Basically, I'm going to take a topic of the day, and I'm going to discuss it here, and give you my opinion on it, and tell you what I think should be done about it. I'm going to pick topics that I'm passionate about, which covers a wide variety. I'm very passionate about politics. I'm very passionate about helping our fellow man and creating a better world and all of that. I have been a blogger for quite a while, and I felt that my passion that I felt for the issues, my issues, wasn't coming through with the written word. So I decided I would do it on camera. And maybe my passion would come through a little more. Now, I wrote a whole text here that I was going to read. I spent quite a while on it, actually. And, you know, this is like take 5. And I just didn't feel that even reading it out loud, my passion was coming through either. So basically, I have some notes here that I use to write the whole thing, and I'm just going to refer to my notes, and we're just going to kind of wing it. Okay? Now, my first webcast is going to be about the healthcare bill that's going to the Senate right now. What this is this is a battle between the corporations in this country and the American people. This is the second battle of several. The first battle was the financial bailout. The corporations won, in case you hadn't noticed. The Obama administration, first the Bush administration, then the Obama administration gave the banks and the financial institutions, Wall Street, hundreds of billions of dollars. And they told us, the American people, that by making the banks solvent, they would get rid of the credit crunch, and they would be able to loan to Main Street again, and our economy would be good, and everybody would be happy and dancing in the streets and whatever. Well, they said that, but they didn't have an agreement for the banks and the financial institutions to do that. So they didn't. They took those hundreds of billions of our dollars and hung on to them. So Main Street is still really hurting. Now, Obama's really mad that these people did this, but it's in their nature. It's the way corporations work. No corporation is going to voluntarily do something, or very few corporations are going to voluntarily do something that cuts into their profits. It just isn't the way it works. That's capitalism, greed, but it needs to be regulated greed. In the last 10 years, last 30 years, the regulations on that greed have been taken off, and that's what got us into the problem we had last year. Okay. So this is a fight for the very soul of America, between the corporations and the American people. Right now, the corporations are winning. And we need to stop them. The more the corporations win, the more that they get away with this kind of crap, the more they're going to do it. Okay? It's going to embolden them. It's going to embolden other corporations. And the next thing you know, we're going to be in a plutocracy, which is where we're heading right now. This is not a democracy. A democracy is by the people, of the people, for the people. And it's not. It's all about the corporations. The corporations get what they want. The American people do not. Okay. That's how I feel about this. This is a battle. Battle for the soul of America. That's how I see it. Maybe it's melodramatic. Maybe it's not. Anyway. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the arguments and the talking points from the left and the arguments and talking points from the right and go over them and tell you what I think about them one by one. All right. First, we're going to start with the talking points of the left. Okay, one thing that I hear Brig brought up all the time about this healthcare bill is that it's going to cover 30 million people. Okay, cool. That's a good thing. The more people get covered by insurance, the better. Personally, I would like to hold everybody in this country to be covered, but 30 million is a pretty good start. Okay, but here's the problem with that. They're doing it at the end of the game. They're mandating that everybody buys insurance. Okay, they're going to subsidize those that can't afford it. Okay, Well, if you've ever been in any kind of a government deal where they're not going to be able to afford it. People aren't going to be, even with the subsidies, they're not going to be able to afford it, I'm pretty sure. And if you're going to mandate that everybody buys insurance, then you better make sure the product they're buying is good and reasonably priced, but they're not. There is no price controls whatsoever in this bill. Nothing to give to make the insurance companies keep their prices down. So, 30 million covered, but at the end of a gun. So that's not so good. It's good that they're getting covered, not so good that it's at the end of a gun. The next point they bring up is pre-existing conditions. Well, the insurance companies aren't going to be able to discriminate against you anymore for pre-existing conditions. They have to accept you whether you have one or not. All right, that's a good thing too. Very good. If that was all it was. But it's not. If you have a pre-existing condition, or if you're old, they can charge you up to 3 times more for your premiums than somebody that doesn't have a pre-existing condition. Now, think about how much money you're paying for insurance right now, if you are, and multiply that by 3. Can you afford that? Okay. Now, the only people that are going to get subsidies are people that are below a certain amount. The last number I heard was $90,000 a year for an individual. So that means that if you're making $100,000 a year, and you're, say, 50, and you have a pre-existing condition, well, you're going to pay 3 times more for your insurance. So if you're paying $10,000 a year now for your insurance, you're going to pay $30,000 a year. So now all of a sudden, you're not making $100,000 anymore. Now you're making $70,000. Oh, and then you got your mortgage to pay, which they say should not be, the banks, financial institutions say should not be no more than 30%. So take that out of the 70, and now you're getting less than half of your income for all the rest of your bills. Okay? There's no cost controls here, people. The insurance companies can do what they want. So then the next thing they say is, well, we're going to give people exchanges, so they'll have competition. They'll be able to choose from all of these different insurance companies. There you go. That's great, too. Until you find out that the insurance company, the insurance industry, has an antitrust exemption, which basically means legally they can fix prices. They can charge whatever they want. They can collude between each other to set the prices for the industry. Legally. They can do this legally. So how is there going to be competition in an exchange filled with private insurance companies that are all going to charge the same price? That's not competition. In my opinion, the only way to get a really good competition is a robust public option. My perspective is this. I would like to see Medicare for all. I would like to see every single person in this country covered with health insurance from the day they're born, 9 months before they're born, till the day they die. That's what I would like to see. That's not going to happen right now. It's probably not going to happen in my lifetime, but that's what I would like to see. So you're going to force people into a program that you have no price controls over, that you have legally made it okay for them to set their own prices among themselves so that they're all, they're all charging the same price. So nobody is going to lose any profits, which is the god of Wall Street. So we're heading into a plutocracy. We need to stop this right now. All right. Now the Republican talking points. They say that, well, the way to fix this, the way to get competition, the way to hold down prices is to allow people to buy insurance across state lines, which is this time they cannot. Well, for those of you that don't know, the insurance companies are regulated by the states. Some states regulate more than others. Some have very lax regulations, and some have stringent regulations. So basically, if you were allowed to buy insurance over state lines, the insurance companies would just all move to the state that had the least amount of regulation. So they could do the most amount of screwing the American person, people. So that isn't going to work. Okay, that's just a big mess there. They also say to allow the free market to work. We don't need government regulation. We need to allow the free market to work. Well, guess what? If you're a monopoly, that's not a free market. Free market involves competition. Right now, the insurance companies, the health insurance companies, have no